Yep, you guessed it, it's Tuesday again. That means 2 minutes. Roll the intro. Today you're going to be really glad that you've got between us, because today we're looking at probably the most vilest, most putrid smelling products you'll ever use in carp fishing. Okay, you've got two ways of going with a bait. You've got your base mix, and now you want to put a label to it. You can go for a nice one that smells really good to our nose, or you can go for one that has a real track record of catching carp. There are certain ingredients that stimulate fish into heavily feeding. I've got two of them here. This is called N-Butyric Acid, N-Butyric Acid. Doesn't matter which way you pronounce it. And I've also got caproic acid. Now, believe it or not, caproic acid and N-Butyric acid are of the same family. I'm not letting these boys out because, to be honest with you, I don't own a hazmat suit. N-Butyric and caproic are related. Caproic is a baby sister to N-Butyric. Now, N-Butyric is sourced from the cheese fermenting business.
I think it was blessed are the cheesemakers.
When they're fermenting their cheese, it releases an organic acid called N-Butyric acid. This is then siphoned off and used elsewhere. Now, N-Butyric acid, by its very, very nature, smells of vomit. It's that real cheesy, sharp smell. And if you've never smelt N-Butyric neat, there's a way of knowing what it smells like. If you've ever vomited yourself, you'll have smelt it, because our bodies naturally produce N-Butyric. Most animals produce N-Butyric acid in some guise. So when we physically vomit ourselves, N-Butyric comes up in our bile, and that's what gives it that sharp smell. You know, if somebody else is in the room and they bath and you naturally get that saliva moving where you're going, oh, I could go myself. N-Butyric is what you're smelling. So N-Butyric is vile, but there is no doubt that it's probably the best ingredient for stimulating carp to feed ever discovered, ever found by anyone on the planet. Going back, way back into the 80s, one of the most famous flavors ever was Rod Hutchinson's Scopex. Now, Rod himself used to blend the Scopex personally. One of the key ingredients was N-Butyric acid in a very low dosage form, and that's what made it different to all the other Scopex wannabes from other companies over the years. It was completely different to those because he knew to put the N-Butyric in. They didn't. The product itself is very, very simple to use. I would keep to the recommended dosage that's given by Nutrabaits. If you go overboard with N-Butyric, it will actually repel the carp. Caproic acid comes from the same cheese fermentation process and is the baby sister. It has pretty much everything N-Butyric has, but just in a lesser form. It's not as vile to the nose. It's not as obnoxious. It still has stimulation ability. It brings carp in, it makes them want to feed. It doesn't have the kick that the N-Butyric has. Both of these products act as enhancers as well. It will enhance any flavor and any base mix. It will add to it and give it a taste profile that fish absolutely love. It's really now up to you whether you're willing to try it. These are strong, pungent to the nose, and vile. There's no two ways about it, but you know what? They catch fish. It's funny because, as I said at the beginning, you have two ways of going with making bait. You can make a real nice smelling bait, and let's face it, there's some cracking flavors out there that stimulate carp and smell great to us. Pineapple on its own is an amazing flavor, and if you were to use pineapple in the trigger base mix on its own, catch you loads of fish. If you use trigger with pineapple and N-Butyric in the base mix, it becomes a catching machine. It's the way the organic acids and everything else, they all react and give off a signal. So it's not just one little thing. N-Butyric on its own, I mean, it's great, but it's not, oh my God, wow. Mix it with certain products and it just absolutely just... So 2 minutes are up. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a really good day. And don't forget, enhancers like these make all the difference. See you in the next 2 Minute Tuesday.